The grass is green, the sky is blue. It's a great day to be alive and a great day for high school sports, and that's exactly what we have for you here on ETV. Thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nathan Cron. We are at Wildcats Stadium on the campus of Eagan High School, Eagan, Minnesota, where the Wildcats, the Lady Wildcats, are going to be taking on the Shakopee Sabers in a South Suburban Conference clash between two sides that desperately want to get points and move up in the standings. Wildcats right now looking at a total record of 5-1-2. Shakopee Sabers looking at a record 3-2-2. So the Sabers looking to get out of the mid-table and pressure the Wildcats at the top of the table. Everybody's getting ready for sections. Everybody wants to stay healthy. The Wildcats, as you see there on the screen, nursing a couple of injuries, and we'll talk about those here shortly. But Wildcats are set tonight to take on the Sabers as they have traveled up Highway 13. The boys, of course, just got done playing in the game number 1 of our doubleheader, where the Wildcat boys won 2-0, but finished the game with only 9 players on the field due to a couple of second yellow cards, which resulted in red card send-offs for Blake Prouty and Peyton Jensen. Shakopee starting lineup, you've got McGraw, Lee, Johnson, Norskog, Missman, Schwichtenberg, Helgamo, Majerus, Heckel, Blackburn, and Gonzalez. Blackburn and Gonzalez both underclassmen. One Blackburn, an 8th grader, Gonzalez a sophomore. Young defense, back for coach Robert Davies. Wildcats with Anna Enning, Cassie Turner, and Isabella Fall in the back, with Jolstrom and Waldrop in the holding midfield positions. Jensen and Fetsic are your forward midfielders, with Weisendonner, Leitenberg, and Seehafer your forwards. Big battle here in the South Suburban Conference between these two teams. Wildcats in blue with white numbers. Shakopee in their all-white kit with red numbers. Wildcats moving from left to right on your screen as Waldrop spins and turns away there from Helgamo. Wildcats have been on a bit of a scoring spree recently, with their best scoring opportunities, most of them coming from outside, coming from places like people like Seehafer and Leitenberg. Big win last time out against the Rosemount Irish last Thursday. A 2-1 victory over the Irish, a team that the Wildcats had not beaten in 2 years, either in section playoffs or in the regular season. But firmly putting the Wildcats into the driver's seat from a conference and section standpoint. This ball comes up over the top, and Ball's going to run that, try to run that down, but that ball comes wide. That was Turner. This ball gets sent in towards Valga. Valga tries for that ball, but misses it. Lucky she did, as that goes for a goal kick. First shot of the game to the Sabers.
Goal kick, Wildcats.
Thanks for joining us here on ETV, whether you're in Shakopee, in Eagan, South Florida, South Dakota, Mingo County, West Virginia, or parts unknown. Glad to have you with us. It's a beautiful night here in Eagan. Of course, we've got the turf field here in Eagan, but the temperature is in the 70s with a nice gentle breeze. Nice defense there. Interception by Schwichtenberg. That ball's going to find its way into touch. Unlucky that time, as Schwichtenberg had dispossessed Enning. Shakopee Sabers coming off their last game, a 1-0 loss to Waconia. They play this coming Friday against Farmington at Shakopee Stadium. Wildcats will have Lakeville South this Friday at Lakeville South. Weisendonner dances across the middle, looks for Leitenberg. Leitenberg turns on the track speed. That ball gets flicked in the air. It falls unkindly that time for Seehafer. She's in the corner. Left foot chip, finds Weisendonner. Can Weisendonner unload the cannon? She can't, but it comes from Waldrop, who sends it in. Nice shot by Kira Waldrop. The senior captain did not hesitate or take an extra touch, and McGraw was equal to the task. Didn't trouble her too much, but there was something on that.
23.
Fancy Waldrop's chances to score if she's given that time space again. So it was a nice save there by the Shakopee keeper. Wildcats wanting to possess this ball. Waldrop with it. Attempts to cross into Wiesendoner, whose touch lets her down a little bit. Again, we're talking about some injuries here for the Wildcat squad. We'll get to those as soon as we have a break in the action. Jolstrom finds Leitenberg. Leitenberg, one of the good natural left foots, but this is back for Jolstrom. Jolstrom not shy. She puts it towards net. Goes wide for the Wildcats, missing both Olivia Ehrenberg and Courtney Bumpers tonight. Ehrenberg with a lower body injury. Bumpers dealing with the effects of a collision against the Irish. Check at Eastview. There were a collision against the Eastview Lightning last Tuesday, a week ago. So she's dealing with those issues, and of course we wish everybody a speedy return. The season's as short as it is. Last thing any of these girls on either side needs to do is miss time, as Seehafer says, I'm not missing time. She puts her right foot cross in. That comes towards McGraw. It's spilled in the box. Wiesendoner can't get to it, and the Sabers rally quickly. Nice job by the defense, realizing the extreme danger as Wiesendoner was smelling blood in the water. And it goes out harmlessly for a throw. Interestingly enough, the Wildcats themselves will be taking on the Waconia, I believe it's the Waconia Wildcats, on Saturday. So we'll have back-to-back games, one on Friday, one on Saturday. Jensen couldn't find it. That gets popped up in the air. Finds its way to Seehafer. Seehafer wins that one. Still wins it. Great effort by Josie Seehafer. She fires it across and trundles it in. It's saved off the line by McGraw. How did she do it? Could not tell if it was McGraw or one of her defenders from up here, but brilliant save that time. That had to be right on the line. First best opportunity for the Wildcats goes begging as the Shakopee defense is able to get a goal line. I wouldn't say clearance. I guess I'd say a goal line save. McGraw has her lucky stars and her defense to thank there. Wildcats number 11 in the Minnesota Soccer Coaches Association poll. There's an opportunity here for the Sabres as they knife in. That ball gets played across. It's spilled by Valaga, and a score, a goal for the Sabres. It was put on net that time by, I believe it was Amila Lee. We're going to get the official scoring here in a moment, and forgive me, I missed who actually put it home for the Sabres. We'll get, like I said, we will get the official score here, but 6 minutes in, and the Sabres notch a 1-0 lead. Definitely against the run of play, but that time
for Shakopee, number 13,
Cats just let it go. Schwichtenberg with the goal.
Number 9, Amalia Lee.
Amalia Lee gets the assist.
In the 6th minute, time of the goal is 5 minutes, 52 seconds.
So Schwichtenberg from Lee.
Madeline Schwichtenberg, the assist, Amalia Lee.
Valaga spilled it.
5:52.
There was a rebound, and Schwichtenberg, to her credit, never gave up on it and cashed it in. Now the Wildcats, as Jolstrom goes from distance. That was a rather interesting little shot. It's the first shot on goal for the for the Sabres, and they made it count. Jolstrom's blast from distance didn't trouble McGraw too much, but she did drop it. Again, that goal coming really against the run of play. This ball comes up over the top looking for Seehafer, and that's going to find touch. 1-0 to the Sabres. Wildcats have mounted a couple of what I would describe a couple of big comebacks this year. They found themselves down 2-0 against the White Bear Lake Bears, and found themselves down 1-0 to the Rosemount Irish at halftime, and managed to win tie against the Bears and win against the Irish. So the Wildcats have demonstrated some mental toughness here, and they're going to have to be mentally tough as they find themselves behind by a goal. Jensen battles there, falls for Seehafer, who crosses it in quickly, but it falls that time blocked, nicely done. Now Seehafer pops it up towards goal. Somebody needs to crash, and it's spilled into the net! Josie Seehafer scores as McGraw spills it into the net. Seehafer in the 8th minute. And that's going to be Seehafer from, I believe, Jensen, scoring for the Wildcats, and a quick response. It's definitely the kind of response that you'd like if you're Coach Kasim Ilmi, or Coach Q, as he's known to those who know him and love him. And now it's the Sabers who will have an opportunity to reset their watches a little bit and figure out, okay, how are we going to climb back into this one? How are we going to get that momentum back that we had just a moment ago? 2 goals in 2 minutes, 1 for each side. That ball goes off Turner's head, cleaned up by Enning that time, nicely done. Steady senior Cassie Turner, not one to
Scoring for the Wildcats.
lose that ball easily as this finds Wiesendoner. Wiesendoner sends that for Leitenberg. Leitenberg goes around the defense. She's got an opportunity. She has it on her left foot.
The goal, 7 minutes, 49
Contact
seconds.
and good defense that time by the Sabers. It's kept in that time by Jensen.
Jensen, the time was 7:49.
And just a throw in the corner. Didn't think there was much there in terms of a foul. Leitenberg, there was contact as Turner trots forward. Now she's going to unleash a big throw. Wildcats are going to have to get to the end of this. Usually goes over everyone's head. This time, though, nicely done by Seehafer. Falls for Leitenberg. That ball is going to go out into touch, and it's going to be the first corner of the evening.
Corner kick upcoming. Wildcats, their first.
Wildcats dangerous in set pieces against several opponents this year.
Side, Jensen,
seems like it's feast or famine as Jensen with a right-footed in-swinger finds Enning's head, and Enning
goal kick, Sabers.
finds out of bounds. So 5 shots by the Wildcats, 3 on net. 2 shots for the Sabers, 1 of them on net, the goal. Check it, that's 4 shots on net for the Wildcats, but in any event, a lot of action here in the first opening few minutes of this match. Thank you for joining us here on ETV, where you're definitely getting your money's worth. Waldrop looks for Leitenberg. Leitenberg's going to win that race, I think. She does. Track speed around the edge. Leitenberg sends that in towards McGraw. I think the assistant referee is going to call. Assistant referee is going to say that Leitenberg took that ball over the end line before getting the shot on McGraw, before McGraw spilled it. So that will be a goal kick to the Sabers. Wildcats this Friday, as I said, taking on Lakeville South at Lakeville South. Lakeville South, number 9 in the coaches poll at AAA, Class 3A. And as a result, it sets up number 9 versus number 11. The winner of that game is going to have something to say not only about the conference championship here in the South Suburban Conference, but also potentially seedings for sections, even though the 2 teams are in different sections. Fetsich battling there, nicely done.
Good, Cassie.
Enning finds an Seehafer who had opened up. Now Fetsich over. Jolstrom cleans that up, nicely done. Inga Jolstrom, the junior captain on this team, provides some good defensive holding midfield presence as Seehafer says, watch what I can do on the outside. Nice tackle there by Seehafer. Lays it off for Wiesendoner. Wiesendoner for Waldrop, who was screaming for it. Waldrop's got some company. Lays off for Jensen. Jensen's going to go to goal, but it's blocked smartly that time by the Sabers. So we've seen some good shots. We've seen some good blocks. We've seen a goal line clearance or save. 2 goals. Remember, on the ETV YouTube page, all of this will be available after the game. step there by Eagan and finds Seehafer. Seehafer attempting to disprove a theorem of physics and that two pieces of matter cannot occupy the same space, and unfortunately she finds out they can't. Stout defense that time by a youthful Shakopee defense. As I said, an 8th grader, a sophomore on the back line for the Sabers, along with captain Mackenzie Norskog. It's Gonzalez. And put it into touch by Turner. One-year score. Ticking into the 15th minute. Ball with just a little too much salsa on it. Finds Leitenberg. Finds Weisendonner. Weisendonner thought about going to Jensen, but thought better of it. Jensen, for a moment, had some space, but then was bracketed. Now it falls for Jolstrom. Jolstrom goes over the top. That ball, that header, lands awkwardly that time. Leitenberg lays off for Weisendonner, but now it lays off for Jensen. Jensen goes towards goal, and that's going to be over and out.
Valerie Jensen, number 12, wide, goal kick, Sabers.
Wildcats asserting some measure of control on the match here after giving up the first goal to the Sabers. Again, last year, Sabers defeated the Wildcats at Shakopee Stadium 2-1. It was a 2-0 deficit until Weisendonner clawed one back for the Wildcats. The Wildcats ran out of time. Josie Seehafer injured in that game. Missed some games. Given how she's played here for the Wildcats, you can imagine that was quite the loss. Seehafer goes back for Enning. Enning, nice touch there. Controls it. Turner looks for one of her forwards, but it manages to find a Shakopee foot and goes into touch. Schwichtenberg's 6th minute strike from Lee, canceled out by Seehafer's 8th minute strike from Jensen. Waldrop going over the top. Falls that time for Jensen. Jensen through the tackle. That time taken away by the Sabers and sent quickly forward, but Sabers forward really by herself up there. It was Missman, senior captain, playing that center forward position, and she was really 1-on-3. Sabres really have not had a chance to really possess the ball and open up their bag of tricks, so to speak, in terms of how they want to play this game. Wildcats have demonstrated a couple of things already that we've expected or would expect them to do. Attacking the outside, Seehafer, Leitenberg, things like that. Big throw over the top that finds Weisendonner. She lays it off for Jensen. Jensen sends it towards goal, but actually that's wide. That's a cross over to Seehafer. She's down in the corner. She's got some time. Keeps it in. It comes down in the penalty area, but no Wildcat was able to get to it. Enning pressing up on the offensive end, and right now the Sabres having a little trouble getting air. They're being squeezed tightly that time by the Wildcats. Weisendonner finds Waldrop. Weisendonner again. Oh, slides through for Fetsic. Oh, Fetsic just didn't have it on her feet the right way. It's a nice combination pass there, but Fetsic went the other way with it. This ball finds Weisendonner's foot, but then the defense takes it away. Oh, brilliant ball. Brilliant ball by Seehafer. Will she go to goal? She goes for the cross. She looks for Jensen. Jensen has it. Ushers it into the corner. I think Josie Seehafer would have been justified going to goal on that one after a brilliant move. The ball will find its way into the night sky, and our first foul of the game on the Wildcats.
Foul called on the Wildcats. Free kick. Shakopee.
Good contingent here for both teams. The Wildcats with a nice crowd. The Shakopee Sabers traveling well here, especially for the second game. Probably some parents sticking around from the boys' game. Waldrop looks for Enning. Seehafer around one defender. Now she turns on the Jets. Finds Wiesendoner. Chipped up by Fetzich. Seehafer's going to battle in the corner. And that ball's going to go into touch.
Ball out of bounds over the end line off the Wildcats. Goal kick, Sabers.
Wildcat Soccer would like to thank their platinum sponsors for this season, helping support Wildcat Soccer and making a big impact on the community. ARC Training Center here in Eagan, Eagan Football Boosters, Eagan Hockey Association, I Got Skills Soccer Training, Jordan Drilling, State Farm, Nick DeFries as Lightenberg slashes into the penalty area, puts her left foot
Shot
to
by
it,
Eva
and it's a
Lightenberg,
save by
number 8.
McGraw.
Save made Katie McGraw.
Finish the platinum sponsors Triple Diamond, Urgency Room, Wave Soccer Club, and the Willie team at Edina Realty. Thank you to our platinum sponsors for your support of Wildcat Soccer and our community. Fall battling on the far side, gets a turn but loses it into touch. And the Sabres progress into the attacking third, somewhere where they haven't been all that much tonight. Sans the early goal from Schwichtenberg. So big week for the Wildcats as that ball gets flicked on towards Valaga, and she picks that up. Call that a shot on goal. If Valaga wasn't there, it would have gone into the net, and Seehafer has got room to roam. She looks for Wiesendoner, who traps that down. Wiesendoner lays it off for Waldrop. Waldrop's got one coming on the back, but does a nice job of getting it off. Can't tell if that was a shot or a cross. This falls for Jensen. Jensen, instead of shooting, she tries to go back to Fetzich. Jolstern with acres of space in the middle of the field. Lays it off for Enning. Seehafer and Enning play catch.
Oh, gotta go too, Kara.
Waldrop didn't step to that one, and the ball was intercepted, flicked back to the Eagan back line. I have to say that if the Shakopee Sabres are going to sit back and let the Wildcats bring it up, that may not be a recipe for success, as we've seen when the Wildcats have struggled against the Minnetonka Skippers, or when they've been challenged against the Rosemount Irish. When they've had their issues, it's been because someone's been pressuring them, as Turner goes into the corner. Big battle there with Norskog. Waldrop finds Jensen. Jensen to Wiesendoner. Wiesendoner over the top, nicely done. She's onside. Oh, that's a brilliant ball. That's a brilliant ball, and from my perspective, I think Lightenberg was onside. Oh, that was harsh. We don't have replay capabilities, but I think Lightenberg had held her run. She was well on, I think she was onside. We'll have to go back and watch that one. Mark that down here in the 22nd minute. Was Lightenberg onside, because she would have had, almost certainly would have had a goal scoring opportunity. She was a good 5 to 8 yards clear of everybody going in on McGraw. In any event, we play on.
Foul the Wildcats. It's a free kick for the Sabres.
Sabres with a rare foray into the attacking third. Let's see what the Sabres can come up with here. It's a good free kick. Good header away that time by Waldrop, but it falls that time for the Sabers and goes into touch.
Shot taken number 11.
Get some substitutions here for the, well, I thought we had substitutions coming for the Sabers. Instead, it's just the Wildcats, as Tanner and Enning, Liv Enning and Addie Tanner are checking in for the Wildcats. And Fetzich and Jensen will be withdrawn. So now it's up to the players off the bench, some of the reserves, to try to help create offense. Weisendonner lays that off for Jolstrom. And that ball goes off of a Saber player. Nice, good defense rallying there by the Sabers. That was Lee. If she doesn't rally there, it's a real break for the Wildcats. Poor communication there between Fall and Turner. One of them's got to get the ball, the other one has to step away. Now everybody's watching it. Now Enning cleans it up. Turner's touch lets her down and turns that over. And now the Sabers will break. And the through ball goes all the way through and into touch.
Goal kick upcoming for the Wildcats.
It's a nitpicky point, but the Wildcats want to be perfect. They're going to have to make sure they get some of their communication cleaned up a little bit.
21, Rachel Majerus, number 18. Going out for the Sabers, Madeline Schlichtenberg, number 13. Isabel Majerus, number 15. Previously for the Wildcats. In the game, Olivia Enning, 21.
Goal kick comes out and finds Weisendonner, but gets flicked back into touch. Excuse me, into the Wildcat end. Now it falls for the Sabers. Fall does a nice job of using her body to get between the ball and the offensive player. Tanner loses control of that ball. And the Sabers will counter. Good cross in by the Sabers. Played away by Valaga. That was a tricky shot. Good job by Natalie Valaga, the senior keeper, parrying that away. That was going to be very, very dangerous, as it had some swerve on it. When the Wildcats are good, they come at you in waves. And we'll see how the Wildcats do here in the little push in the back there as Enning gets taken down. And the foul against the Sabers. Got a sense that maybe at some point the whistle would blow, but sometimes you never know. Center referee Jay Moore
Foul the Sabers, free kick
taking over center refereeing duties from Josh Edelstein, who issued a grand total of 9 yellow cards and 2 red cards in the boys game. Enning battling here against, can't see her number from the far side. I think that's Lindahl, number 21, but it's hard to tell from here. Apologies from Shakopee, folks. It's, when you only see a team once, it's a little bit harder to pick up the numbers. Battle on the outside comes in. Turner clears that. Finds Leitenberg, who bit of a wonder of nature how she
substitutions for the Wildcats in the game, number 11, Macy Bray.
How she never seems to get tired. Kron and Bray checking in for the Wildcats as Jolstrom and Enning will have a break. We'll have another foul here against the Sabers. Quick restart here by the Wildcats. Well, I should say, thought it was going to be a quick restart. Instead, the Wildcats are all coming forward. Walter puts her foot to that. Weisendonner off her chest. Weisendonner has an opportunity, gets it on her left foot, but it's poked away that time nicely. Kron with it. She's looking for someone up ahead, finds Weisendonner. Weisendonner can't quite corral it. Almost falls for Bray, goes off of Bray into touch, and it's going to be a white throw. Wildcats all thought that was going to go the other way, but didn't. Good header by Bray away, looking for Waldrop. Good step by Fall. Look at Isabella Fall on the far side. She looks and finds Tanner. Tanner hoofs it over for Seehafer. Seehafer couldn't control it. And Cron again will reset. She'll find Seehafer. Seehafer attempts to try something tricky, but doesn't come off. And there's going to be a foul against Cassie Turner. I'm not sure. I have to admit, I'm not sure how the referee called that one, only because Turner's got her back to the offense, the other player, and had the ball. But in any event, the ball's going to be moved back. Coach center referee going to catch that infraction. Another free kick here for the Sabers. That's a good free kick, diving and dying into the penalty area. Right on the edge of the penalty area. Good shot, good block that time by Turner. This finds Weisendonner. How quickly can Weisendonner do something with this? Leaves it off for Bray. Bray over the top. This ball's going to stop for Seehafer. Seehafer's 1-on-2, but she's got speed. Seehafer to the byline, sends it in towards McGraw, and it goes behind the net.
Goal kick, Shakopee.
Closing in on 10 minutes to go here in the first half.
Westerman, number 3.
Westerman checking in, and Zirkelbach checking in for the Wildcats.
Going off, number 10,
Zirkelbach checking in a forward position.
Number 8, Ava Leitenberg.
Zirkelbach serving something of as a utility player for Coach Q, playing a little bit of outside D, playing a little bit of outside wing or forward. Westerman, though, a goal-scoring threat, has it on her feet. Nice shoulder-to-shoulder challenge there by number 11 for the Shakopee Sabers. That's Norskog. An excellent shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. She had to get that right, or she could have conceded a penalty.
This time we'll do the first call for the teachers being honored.
It is Teacher Appreciation Night here for the Wildcats. So while I will be stepping away at halftime, we will have a halftime ceremony where the Wildcats will honor the teachers that have meant something to them, whether they're in the high school, elementary school, or anywher else. Big throw down. It finds its way over to Westerman.
5 minutes.
Westerman collision. I think we're going to have heard a whistle, and we are going to have a foul here against the Sabers. So Waldrop will come forward.
Foul on the Sabers. Free kick.
Kick from about 22 yards out. That ball's going to be closer to the touchline.
Kira Waldrop, number 23, on the kick.
Can the Wildcats attack this in the air? It's towards McGraw,
free kick, the shot
and finds
Waldrop, out of bounds,
the football crossbar.
Sabers.
Waldrop has scored from that distance before in an unmolested way. No defense in front of her off a free kick or off of when she's been given space, so you like her chances to put that on frame, and that time it didn't quite come off for her. But again, as the senior captain, you expect her to take a leading role in trying to create offense, and that's certainly what she's doing as Tanner gives chase, and it's popped into the Eagan end. Shakopee taking on defenders. This ball's going to be slid through to Turner, who looks to the outside, but thought that was going into touch, but nicely done by the Sabers to keep it in. They maintain pressure. Eagan defense a little bit discombobulated as Turner hammers that into touch. So we had some excitement in the first game. We've had some excitement here in the second game. No cautions or sending offs, but we've had 2 goals, 1 from each side. Cron watches that ball go towards Shakopee, and Bray and Waldrop combined for it. That ball finds its way into touch. And another Shakopee throw. get a sense both teams have reasons to be pleased about their first half performance. Both teams probably also, fair to say, also have some things they would like to fix or clean up halftime. The ball comes up over the top for Westerman. Westerman goes head-to-head with a Shakopee player. Nothing in that except potential injury here for the Shakopee player. It's unfortunate that time. Westerman also, you could see her holding her head. She felt it as well. Center referee talking to Westerman, reminding her not to use her arm or head as a weapon. She didn't. There's two heads coming in. Weisendonner checking in, just happened to be checking in for Westerman at that time. At first I thought maybe there was a chance that center referee was going to issue a caution, but he didn't. We saw in the first game, we saw a player take a knock to the head and spend the rest of the time on the bench.
Back in the game, going out Ellie Westerman, number 3.
And that is Caitlin Blackburn, the 8th grade defender. She's going to have a seat on the bench while she's checked out by the TCO training staff.
And for the Sabers, in the game, Madison Northside.
And we will have a dropped ball here eventually, as the Eagan Wildcats soccer program would like to thank their gold sponsors: Ansari's, Birchwood Dental, Canes, Coldwell Banker, and Rami Cormont, Devani's Divine Salon, Dunn Brothers, Eagan Arms Public House, love that Ruben, Eagan Family Dental, Escape With Us Vacations, Homestead Auto, Mark's Towing, Teresa's Wildcats, Zerbell Orthodontics, and ZZQ Barbecue and Smokehouse. Thank you for your support of Wildcats soccer and of your community. I want to say thanks to our award-winning ETV crew. Tonight we have a relatively small crew. Producer, director Josh Sibley as the Wildcats here attack to the outside. Here's a ball in, and that's, unlucky that time as Enning, her first touch let her down. That was a good ball in from Tanner. Producer, director Josh Sibley. Camera folks are Brad Lester and Kina Zastapil. Thank you for making us look and sound so good here on ETV. Good recovery defense that time by Bray. That ball falls for Zirkelbach. Wildcats attempting to complete a few passes there as they try to get out of their own end, and that's going to find its way into touch. Unlucky there. I think it came off of Zirkelbach, but that's unlucky. So a reminder here in the last handful of minutes that we will have
substitutions for the Wildcats on the
halftime ceremony for teacher appreciation.
Shakopee, Mariah Tida, number 22, is in the game.
Shakopee finishes emptying out their bench as Westerman comes on, and Westerman slides over. There's Cron stepping hard, poking that out towards Weisendonner, who's played most of the game. Weisendonner, they're called for a foul. It's a bit harsh. She trundled into her from behind, but Kylie Weisendonner, I have to say, if you're new and not watching ETV very often, Weisendonner seems to get a lot of bad calls against her. That ball gets played in towards Valaga. What I mean bad calls is when she knocks a player down, the whistle blows, but when she gets knocked down, there's a tendency for the referee not to call that ball. And so here's an opportunity for Westerman as the ball comes off of Landeskog's hand, elbow. Norskog, excuse me, I was thinking hockey. Westerman took too long there, finds Bray. Bray over for Waldrop. Waldrop had a defender coming. This ball is going to be sent back to Valaga. Valaga's going to take one touch. Actually, she's just going to put it out. Westerman, Weisendonner. Now there's an opportunity for Waldrop to attack. She's onside. If she had Zirkelbach onside, but could not squeeze the ball through to her. Fancy the chances of the Wildcats to score here in this last few minutes as this ball comes up over the top. Zirkelbach's going to run this one down. And the Sabers will put that into touch.
We'll do a second call for the teachers being honored in the teacher appreciation ceremony. Please move down to the gate by the running track.
Wildcats' only loss of the year against the Minnetonka Skippers. The Shakopee Sabers tied the Minnetonka Skippers in their first game of the year, 0-0. Ball comes in towards Shakopee and it's played away. Now it falls for Tanner. Tanner, a little collision. Westerman sends that on towards McGraw. McGraw traps it on the ground. Nicely done by McGraw. Good bit of skill there. Good bit of skill by Westerman to steer it with some sort of force and pace on net. Punt finds its way to Waldrop. Now Cron will step. Her clearance is intercepted. Now the Sabers will look to set up things. Norskog, harassed by Westerman, gets it over to the midfield, switches it to the far side. Cron looks for Tanner, finds her. Nicely done that time by Cron. Tanner's gonna have to win this race. Tanner loses the battle of physics with Norskog on the near sideline. That ball gets under Bray's foot. Wildcats doing a nice job of, when they want to, possessing the ball. There are options everywhere as Bray had it, finds Cron, Westerman. And he pops it up over. Ellie Westerman's going to run that down. Oh, unlucky that time. If I'm honest, I'm not sure how the assistant referee was able to see that that ball was into touch, but he's got a much better look than I do. There's a tendency to believe that ball is maybe still hovering over the line when you're up here. That falls for Westerman. Tanner. Tanner, excellent tackle that time by the Sabers. That was Gonzalez, their sophomore defender. Waldrop's touch lets her down, and Cron has to clean that up. And that ball's into touch. Couldn't be kept in by Lindahl. Under 2.5 minutes to go. Cron with a nice throw finds Tanner. Tanner flicks on for Westerman. Westerman gives it back to Tanner. Tanner beats her around the corner, sends over a cross, but nobody in there in blue. But it does fall for Bray. Bray finds Weisendonner. Looks for Westerman, but it finds its way back to Tanner, who earns a corner. Nicely done by Addie Tanner to earn another corner for the Wildcats. Second of the game, second of the first half.
This will be their second.
And in the waning minutes and seconds here of the first half, the Wildcats have a corner, an opportunity to do something, as all of the virtually all the players are in near McGraw, right on the line. With Cron lurking at the top of the 18, the penalty area. Weisendonner will play that short, and Weisendonner kicks it straight out of bounds.
Out of bounds, goal kick Sabers.
Real wasted opportunity there for the Wildcats. That will not make the coaching staff happy. You're going to play it short, you better get it right. In fairness, the lines are a little confusing down there on the end line, but at the same time, you're right down there, you got to see that.
Less than a minute remaining in the first half.
Less than 1 minute to go. Weisendonner. He's got Zirkelbach on the far side. Zirkelbach had made the run. McGraw alertly off her line. She had to be, and she had to get that right. I think Zirkelbach may have held her run just a little bit too long. It was a good opportunity, though, for Zirkelbach, and Weisendonner, to her credit, found her. This ball's going to fall for Tanner. Tanner's got to get her head up. She's got to, oh, there, nicely done now to Zirkelbach. Zirkelbach can take a touch. Now she takes two. Tries to cross it in. Didn't have a whole lot of pace, but it falls for Bray. Bray's in the penalty area. She gets a left foot to it, slides it towards McGraw, and lurking was Ellie Westerman. Less than 10 seconds, just a few seconds to go. And remember, folks, stick around for halftime, as we will have Teacher Appreciation Night for these Eagan Wildcats. early goal for
It's the end
the
of the first half.
Shakopee Sabers. Schwichtenberg in the 6th
Eagan
minute,
Wildcats
answered
won
by
the Shakopee
Seehafer in the
Sabres
8th minute.
Halftime
And we have a
intermission
1-1
in
score
2
between
seconds. We'll have
the
teacher
Shakopee Sabres
appreciation night ceremony
and the Eagan
coming
Wildcats.
up
Stick
in just
around
a
for
few
Teacher
moments.
Appreciation Night here on ETV.
Helping them think outside the box to other options and solutions, supporting their growth and encourage them to reach for the stars. Each student has selected a teacher they would like to honor tonight. Thank you, teachers. We appreciate you. Are we ready?
Yeah, we're good.
Sound good. And let's introduce our Wildcat girls soccer players and the teachers that they are honoring. We're introducing the players in numerical order. We start with Caitlin Allred. She is honoring Karen Elliott, mathematics teacher at Eagan High School. Her tribute is Mrs. Elliott is a wonderful calculus teacher who works with her students in class and makes a point to connect with them outside of class. Thank you for helping students do their best. Caitlin Allred honoring Karen Elliott. Natalie Valaga is honoring Ben Heil, social studies teacher at Eagan High School. And her tribute is this: Mr. Heil is an AP History and Honors Civics teacher who engages with his students and brings a good mood every day. Thank you for telling us so many jokes and welcoming students anytime to check in with you. Natalie Valaga honoring Ben Heil. Ellie Westerman is honoring Chad Gage, social studies teacher at Dakota Hills Middle School. And Ellie's tribute is this: Mr. Gage is an 8th grade global studies teacher and Ellie's wrestling coach. He encourages his students to develop good work and study habits. Ellie Westerman honoring Chad Gage. Next is Anna Enning. She is honoring Jim Becker, newly retired social studies teacher at Eagan High School. And her tribute: Mr. Becker is a retired civics and pause teacher. He could change your bad day into a good day with his positive attitude and smile. Your legacy is still very present today in our school. Anna Enning honoring Jim Becker. Addison Tanner is honoring Kevin Dirksen, science teacher at Eagan High School, and her tribute is this: Mr. Dirksen is a chemistry teacher that takes time to make his class fun and goes to extra lengths to help his students understand what is going on in this class. Thank you for your patience. Addison Tanner honoring Kevin Dirksen. Ava Leitenberg is honoring Carmen Pareda, Spanish teacher at Eagan High School, and her tribute: Mrs. Pareda is a Spanish teacher, always doing her best for her students, which makes her students do their best in her class. Muchas gracias, says Ava Leitenberg as she honors Carmen Pareda. Kylie Weisendotter is honoring Todd Carlson, social studies teacher at Eagan High School. Her tribute: Mr. Carlson is a criminology teacher who has created a good classroom environment for his students. Thank you for your support. Kylie Weisendotter honoring Todd Carlson. Macy Bray is honoring Sarah Stensas, English teacher at Eagan High School, and her tribute: Mrs. Stensas is an AP Literature and Pause teacher. Her willingness to support students and brighten their day is what makes Mrs. Stensas stand out. Thank you for your positive impact on our students' lives. Macy Bray honoring Sarah Stensas. Valerie Jensen is honoring Jordan Stevens, mathematics teacher at Eagan High School. And her tribute: Mr. Stevens is a math teacher that finds creative ways to engage his students with Tier List Tuesday, to name one, and has a welcoming, positive environment for his students. Valerie Jensen honoring Jordan Stevens. Isabella Fall is honoring William Wierzbinski, newly retired mathematics teacher at Eagan High School. And her tribute: Mr. Wierzbinski is a math teacher who is very passionate about teaching. He makes his class fun and creates easy ways for his students to learn. Thank you for being so positive. Isabella Fall honoring William Wierzbinski. Olivia Ehrenberg is honoring James Cox, vocal music teacher at Eagan High School. And her tribute: Mr. Cox is a choir and pause teacher with a great personality. The constant home base of pause is a great comfort when entering high school. Thank you for all you do, and keep telling jokes. Olivia Ehrenberg honoring James Cox. Ella Logan is honoring Jesse Madsen, mathematics teacher at Eagan High School. He's also the head girls basketball coach at Eagan High School. And her tribute, Mr. Madsen is a math teacher who takes time with his students to work through tough problems in class and in everyday life. Thank you for your support and keeping us laughing. Ella Logan is honoring Jesse Madsen. Kate Cron is honoring Eric Arlene, social studies teacher at Eagan High School, and her tribute. Mr. Arlene is a history and pause teacher that has created a supportive environment for his students, not only in class but in everyday life. Thank you for making such a great impact in such a short time. Kate Cron honoring Eric Arlene. Courtney Bumpers is honoring Bethany Barrios, mathematics teacher at Eagan High School, and her tribute. Ms. Barrios is a math teacher who never fails to make a bad day better. Thank you for your energy and caring attitude. Courtney Bumpers honoring Bethany Barrios. Josie Seehafer is honoring Sue House, mathematics teacher at Eagan High School, and her tribute. Ms. House is a math and pause teacher that has a great passion for teaching and a positive attitude that makes learning fun. Thank you for being a ray of sunshine. Josie Seehafer honoring Sue House. Leah Zirkelbach is honoring Dr. Adam Copeland, social studies teacher at Eagan High School. And her tribute, Dr. Copeland is a history teacher who has an incredible way of storytelling to make learning relatable and fun. Thank you for your involvement and inspiring attitude. Leah Zirkelbach honoring Dr. Adam Copeland. Olivia Enning is honoring Mitchell Snowbeck, social studies teacher at Eagan High School. And her tribute, Mr. Snowbeck is an economics and pause teacher who is helpful and open to answering any questions. Your funny personality makes your class a wonderful environment. Olivia Enning honoring Mitchell Snowbeck. Emma Fetzich is honoring Stephanie Steinbron, Spanish teacher at Eagan High School. And her tribute, Ms. Steinbron is a Spanish teacher that makes her classroom a good place to be. She loves seeing past students as much as her current ones. Muchas gracias, says Emma Fetzich, honoring Stephanie Steinbron. Kira Waldrop is honoring Lisa Langenhahn, social studies teacher at Eagan High School, and her tribute. Ms. Langenhahn is an AP psychology and pause teacher who is supportive and kind. Going to her class is a highlight of the day. Thank you for your positive impact. Kira Waldrop honoring Lisa Langenhahn. Cassie Turner is honoring Jeffrey Kolominen, science teacher at Eagan High School, and her tribute. Mr. Kolominen is an AP biology teacher who has a lighthearted personality that makes learning a difficult course so much easier and enjoyable. Thank you for your love of science. Cassie Turner honoring Jeffrey Kolominen. And Inga Jolstrom is honoring Robert Toole, social studies teacher at Eagan High School, and her tribute. Mr. Toole is a history teacher who engages with his students with great conversations. Thank you for your advice and support. Inga Jolstrom honoring Robert Toole. Again, we thank all of our dedicated teachers and give special recognition to the teachers here this evening, chosen by each player for their extraordinary impact. Please give a round of applause for all of our great teachers being honored here this evening.
Wow. I just finished previewing some of the films in this year's Eagan Art Block Short Film Festival. And let me tell you this might be our best year yet. I'm out of popcorn, so come with me. Tickets are on sale now on eagan-tv.com for the 2023 Eagan Art Block Short Film Festival, which takes place on Saturday, September 23rd, right here at the Imagine Theater in Eagan. With the popcorn, snacks, drinks, not to mention a Q&A with filmmakers, and a great selection of films, this festival is going to sell out fast. So get your tickets now on eagan-tv.com for the 2023 Eagan Art Block Short Film Festival, and be a part of one of Minnesota's fastest growing film festivals. And we'll see you at the movies.
Welcome back to second half action here in the South Suburban Conference. We've got girls high school soccer half number 2 coming up between the Shakopee Sabers and the Eagan Wildcats. 2 goals scored in the first half, one by the Sabers, one by the Wildcats, and it sets up for an exciting, thrilling, perhaps even scintillating second half here on ETV. Hello everybody, my name is Nathan Cron. Proud to be joined by an award-winning ETV crew. Wildcats will be wearing the blue with white numbers. Shakopee Sabers in white with red numbers. As the evening moves on here in the Central Time Zone, we are definitely under the lights here as we're getting closer to homecoming than we are the start of school. It's amazing how time flies. Of course, the season will be over here in a matter of, I don't know, probably about 6 weeks. The soccer season will be over. State tournament will be in 6 or 7 weeks. Both of these teams looking to cement a strong seed in the playoff section pairings. Wildcats number 11 in the Minnesota coaches poll. And they will get us started here in the second half as Kylie Weisendonner hears the whistle, gives it to Waldrop. Waldrop pooches it forward, and it's a swarm of Wildcats. Seehafer on the far side. Good defense that time, takes it away from her, but it lands back for Enning. Seehafer again. Oh, fouled. Early foul here by the Sabers. Assistant referee called that one. That was a good opportunity here for the Wildcats. As Jensen's going to stand over this one. And Enning will trot forward. Jensen towards net, over the net.
Free kick the shot. Mallory Jensen, number 12, out of bounds. Goal kick for the Sabers.
Shot high and wide. The Wildcats, with a few good opportunities in the first half, really should have probably had at least one more goal, but a brilliant goal line, either stop/clearance by McGraw and her defenders, denied the Wildcats a 2-1 lead. Looks like the lineups for the Wildcats are consistent with what they did in the first half. And to my eye, it looks like the Sabers have a similar lineup as well. Big step there by Waldrop. Lays it off that time for Jensen. Jensen tries to get it on her right foot. That's where she wants it. Finds Weisendonner. Finds Fetzich. Fetzich says, yeah, I'll try that. Goes over the top. Imagine the Wildcats outshot the Sabers in that first half. 9-4. Sabers made their first shot on goal count with a goal by Schwichtenberg in the 6th minute before Seehafer was able to cancel that out in the 8th minute. The Wildcats certainly with more shots on net and shots total and shots on goal. Falls throw in finds the Sabers as Waldrop steps up, and Turner with a good battle there. Right around Turner. Turner's going to have to rally. She's going to need some help. As that ball comes flying across, here's an opportunity for the Sabers. And a shot goes into the football goalpost. That was a dangerous, dangerous opportunity. And it was only by the stroke of luck that the Wildcats weren't facing a shot on goal there.
Number 11, Mackenzie Norskog.
The defense had been driven all the way over. Norskog hit the the football crossbar. So a good start there by the Sabers. Jensen tries to flick that to Leitenberg, but it comes back for Fall. Fall's pass intercepted. The ball falls for Weisendonner. She puts it on her left foot. That ball's up over the top. Can Leitenberg win this race? She can. She's going to get a foot to it. She's going to be deemed offside. I have to tell you, I'm not. We'll have to, again, watch the replay on that one, folks, but assistant referee has a good view of it, but To be fair, I thought the assistant referee may have made a mistake in the first half on Leitenberg, as Leitenberg now is caught the second time in an offside position. That being said, Leitenberg got caught against Rosemont twice offside and then managed to score the game winner. Defense here for the Wildcats is 4 players rally. Defense looks a bit disorganized right now in blue. Good step that time by Turner, who had popped to the outside. Fetsic earns a foul there. To be fair, I think the Shakopee player had no problem going to ground, as it creates a nice free kick from 40 yards out, but Fetsic has still got it. That's not a foul that Fetsic needs to commit. Player's facing away from her, barely has the ball. Free kick here comes in, nice flat ball. Finds its way towards Falls, who flicks it in to touch. Big throw from the sideline, finds its way into the penalty area, where it's bandied about. It's shot wide. That's going to slide well wide of the goal, but at least it's a shot for the Sabers.
Goal kick, Wildcats. Shot for Claire.
Notably, Caitlin Blackburn took that throw in, and it's good to see number 24 back on the pitch for the Sabers. The 8th grader left the game in the first half with what might have been a head injury. She's back on the pitch now, which means that she's been cleared to return. The ball finds Leitenberg, who flicks it on. Thought Jensen might have been making that run. Now Jensen intercepts. Wildcats have an opportunity here. Fetsic can't run that down, but it falls for Seehafer. Seehafer 1v2. She's going to win that. Opportunity for Seehafer in the corner. Sends it back negative. Good defense that time by the Sabers, as they could have conceded the corner and didn't. Big step here by Enning. Finds Jolstrom. Jolstrom sends that looking for Leitenberg, but Leitenberg wasn't moving. Wildcats have been good in second halves this season. Minnetonka game withstanding, they have not lost in a second half. Got a few ties, but they've had a number of wins. Fetsic with it. She gets it off her foot, finds Seehafer. McGraw out to play this. And that's a corner. Nope, it's a goal. Oh, it is called a corner. It's called a corner. It is called a corner. We're going to have a discussion.
Center referee stops the clock.
Center referee Jay Moore signaled corner. Assistant referee signaled goal kick. If it is a corner, Wildcats have now lost the opportunity to take it quickly, as McGraw was well outside the penalty area. And it's a goal kick.
Goal kick, Shakopee.
Fetsic, Enning, Seehafer. Seehafer finds Weisendonner. Weisendonner left foots it over to Jolstrom. Jolstrom sends it in, but everyone's flat-footed, and that ball's going to go over everyone. It's a good ball from Jolstrom, but nobody's making that run. It's the second time in a few minutes here that Jolstrom's ball has been met with flat feet, so either somebody needs to make a run or Jolstrom will have to make another decision. Ball gets switched over to Waldrop. Waldrop with the right foot. She's not going to be shy in shooting that. Leitenberg was crashing looking for the loose ball, but McGraw quickly off of her line. I'm not going to call that a shot on goal, only because I'm not sure it was going to get onto goal. good header away that time by the Sabers, but Leitenberg, check it, Seehafer's going to run that down. Seehafer tried to turn, good defense that time on the far side by the Sabers. Enning battling, Turner takes it away. Now Jolstrom again. Fall. Leitenberg. Woldrup. Ball up over the top. That's nicely done. Can see Hafer get to it. She's all by herself. If she somehow can keep that in, she does. Puts her right foot to it, looking for Jensen. It comes off one head, falls for Leitenberg, and goes into the net. Mallory Jensen couldn't get to it. It was just over her head. And on the back door, Ava Leitenberg puts it past McGraw in the 49th minute to give the Wildcats a 2-1 lead. Seehafer with the assist, Leitenberg with the goal. And the Wildcats snatched the lead back, completing the comeback from being down a goal.
Scoring for the Wildcats, number 8, Ava Leitenberg.
And now the question is, can the Wildcats handle prosperity? Can they be defensively sound? Can they play simple? Oh, here's another ball. That's a beautiful ball over to Leitenberg, but it comes off of her foot. Unlucky that time.
The assist, Josie Seehafer.
But Seehafer, a 2-point night, a goal and an assist. The Sabers come forward. That was Helgamo. Cleaned up that time by Jolstrom. Fetsic. Enning. Ball gets played for Weisendonner. The Sabers will go back on it. Now it's a big test for these Shakopee Sabers. How are they going to respond? Good ball to the outside. And an offside call, an over and back offside call.
Shakopee offside.
Forgive me, my eyes didn't pick it up, but assistant referee Paul Kamani certainly was sure. Over and back offside, meaning that the player was offside when the ball was played and then came into an onside position to actually touch the ball. Turner will put her foot to this and send it forward, looking for Weisendonner. Falls. Fetsic just can't quite get to it. And now the Sabres will counter. Turner cleans that up and sends it out as she was being pressured there. By Shakopee forward, whose number won't turn. There she turns. That's Majerus. And as I ascertain her number, she's withdrawn. So the Sabres
3 substitutions for Shakopee.
have given away a 1-0 lead and now trail 2-1.
Lindahl, number 21.
Sabres are going to have to come up with something here, find a little creativity, work something.
Majerus,
That ball
number
gets sent
18.
forward. Leitenberg is going to get a chance to get at that. She does. She keeps it in bounds. She goes by one defender. She's going to try to go by 2 defenders. She's got a left foot. She slides it across looking for Seehafer, who gave it a great effort, broke her neck to get there but couldn't run it down. Cleared out that time and into touch by the Sabres. Check it. I thought that was off the Sabres. In fact, it was off the Wildcats. Sabres trying to take an additional few yards there. To be fair, I'm not sure anybody really knew where that ball went out. Good checking over the top. That time by the Sabres as Turner is called to the defensive pump. Collision there. Run down that time by the Sabres. That ball gets hammered into touch. And that was Helgamo again. making Turner's life very, very difficult. And we'll have a deep throw here. Check it, that's a corner kick. Their first of the game for the Sabers.
Moving over to take the kick, Caitlin Blackburn, number 24.
Blackburn will take it for the Sabers. Forgive me, from my vantage point, I couldn't tell where that ball went out. Blackburn puts it in, it's close. It's snagged by Valaga, and then it's spilled away, and now the ball finds its way well out as the players all clean up and clear out of the penalty area. Valaga looked like she had hands on it, or certainly was in the mix, but it was spilled and cleared. Ball gets flicked towards by Jensen. That's nicely done. Now Jensen on it. Does a nice move that time around a Saber and sends it forward. This is an opportunity for Seehafer. Seehafer's on her horse, but that's just too close to McGraw. McGraw quickly off of her line. And had she not been, Josie Seehafer would have been fancy to earn a brace. So smart by McGraw. Good battle here in the midfield. So Majerus had come back into the game. Mariah Tita also checking in for the Sabres in the midfield. One thing the Wildcats have done this year is they have not let a lead go in terms of a loss. Now they have lost a lead and ended up in a tie as that ball comes up over the top, but again, too close to McGraw with too much pace. You can see what the Wildcats are trying to do. Get it to Seehafer, get it to Leitenberg, let them run onto a ball. McGraw taking a little bit of time. You're down by a goal. It's probably try to get that forward. As Fetsic tries to win that one. It falls to the turf. Weisendonner quickly around that. Look at Kylie Weisendonner down the right side. She's got it on her right foot, wants to lay it off on her left. Now she sends it, hoofs it over for the left. Falls for Leitenberg, who also has a deadly left. We've seen that already tonight. And that ball will find its way into touch. Thanks for watching us on the YouTube channel or local cable. Wildcats 2, Sabres 1 as Leitenberg works it. Finds a left foot over to Jensen. Check it, that was Seehafer. Then Jensen. Jensen goes wide with her shot. Substitutions incoming here for the Wildcats. Cron's going to come in. So Cron is coming in for Fetsic. Enning is going to switch to the other side and fall, and it looks like the Wildcats will go to 4 at the back now with a 1-goal lead. So Fall and Turner are your center backs with Enning and Cron at the outside backs. Oh, Jensen with all sorts of time has an opportunity and squirts it just wide. Oh, Mal Jensen, that was a solid effort. It wasn't missing by much. But if Shakopee is going to let Mal Jensen wander around with that much space just outside the penalty area, or I should say just inside the penalty area, that's going to be a recipe for disaster. The Sabres cannot let that happen. That finds Jolstrom. Jolstrom tries to go across to Fall. Fall flags that down and sends it out for Enning. From a practical standpoint, I think it's fair to say that the Wildcats have now switched to 4 at the back, and that's intentional to kind of clog up the defensive lanes as that ball gets switched by Waldrop to Cron. Cron finds Seehafer. Seehafer turns that over. And now the Sabres will look to create some offense. Good step that time by Fall, but nice job that time by the Sabres as Jensen gave it an excellent try. Was able to push it into touch and let the defense reset. Ball up over the top that finds the outside, the right outside of Turner's boot. Another heave towards the penalty area. Finds its way to a Shakopee chest, but gets out. Oh, nice move there around Jolstrom. A shot from 35 yards out. Doesn't trouble Valga at all. It's a shot on goal, but the first one of the half. But Norskog wasn't going to trouble Valga with that. Ball finds its way to the outside. Nicely done that time by Kron. Good tackle. Lays that off for Weisendonner. Weisendonner, she's got major company there in the middle of the park in the form of Mariah Tita. Nicely done by Tita to make that tackle. Isabella Fall puts that into touch, and Wildcats look pretty comfortable. Somebody in Shakopee White's going to have to do something here to break down the defense, give them an opportunity as Jensen finds Jolstrom. Jolstrom's ball this time doesn't slip through. That was a perfectly weighted ball, but it did not make it through. Ball comes to the near side. Battle there by Majerus. Majerus and Enning. And Majerus is going to get the foul there. I don't think anybody would have a problem with that. Good, nice of Ada Enning to refrain from being ill-disciplined. It's not nice to get pushed in the back. It's understandable that you'd want to retaliate, but you've got the foul and a 1-goal lead. No reason not to let that go as Waldrop looks over the top for Weisendonner. But nobody was making the run. Seehafer gamely going for that ball, but McGraw quickly to it. Weisendonner was bracketed. I don't think Weisendonner, even if she had spun one way or the other, could have gotten to that one. Waldrop's head. Jensen's head. Jensen's boot. And now it's turned over. Oh, good attempt there by Weisendonner. There's a big run around the edge by Lee. Lee, who had the assist on Schwichtenberg's goal. You hear the referee screaming play, just keep playing. Opportunity here is Fall. Battles there in the corner. Nicely done, takes it away. And it rolls into touch. Good battle between Missman and Fall there. Ends up with a white throw. Somebody's got to come to that, and someone does. Enning. Absolutely hit. A little surprised there wasn't. Could have been a foul there. It'll go out for a goal kick. So a big week for the Wildcats, taking on the Lakeville South Cougars on Friday, and of course the Waconia Wildcats on Saturday. Shakopee Sabers will be taking on Farmington on Friday. Of course, a lot of these Friday games are the result of the football games having to be moved. So Leitenberg steps up quickly to that one. Weisendonner with it. Slides across for Jolstrom. Jolstrom goes across. Well, that's off a Shakopee player. Leitenberg's going to try to battle for this one. It's sent into touch. Probably the smart move. These Friday girls and boys soccer games are the result of the football games being moved to Thursday because of a lack of officiating crews. So Friday Night Lights becomes Thursday Night Lights as corner up for the Wildcats, only their second of the game. So as a result, because the football games have to move to Thursday, the fields get used, and so the Friday night opportunity is available for the Wildcats. Lakeville South, quality program and a quality team. We'll see them on Friday. Jensen over it. She puts her right foot to it. Finds Weisendonner. Weisendonner towards goal. What a blast! Great save by McGraw. That was a brilliant save by McGraw. She had to get that right. That had pace. It had movement. Wiesendoner with a left foot that's been absolutely lethal this season. She hasn't missed too many. And that one was definitely going on goal. Although it is the first shot on goal here in the second half. That ball gets sent in for Jensen, and Jensen scores! Mal Jensen, as sweet as you like, just taps it and nods it into the top corner of the net. And Jensen gives the Wildcats a 3-1 lead. In the 63rd minute. So at 3-1 now, the Sabres really have a hole to climb out of. And that's a good way to do it. An opportunity. They had 4-on-3 going the other way. The Wildcats were not fully set on defense. Luckily there, it's a wild shot over the top of the bar. But the Sabres now have really got a hole to dig out of. And we're hearing the assist is going to go to Seehafer. So 2 assists and a goal tonight for Josie Seehafer. This ball finds its way on goal. Valaga came out. Shakopee arguing, Missman arguing that either Fall or Valaga had to touch that ball. They may be hard done by.
Scoring for the Wildcats, number 12, Mallory
But that's
Jensen.
2 options and 2 opportunities
Number 18, Josie Seehafer.
for the Sabres, and both,
In the 63rd
neither one have
minute,
been
time
on
to
net.
go, 62 minutes, 52 seconds.
Wildcats need to get their defense right
Wildcats
here.
goal scored by Mallory Jensen.
That
The
ball gets
assist,
sent forward.
Josie Seehafer, the
Anna
time,
Edding battling there in the
62,
corner.
52.
That finds touch. Big throw by the Sabres looking into the corner. A couple of headers there away. Falls that time though for the Sabres. Shot on net. It's blocked that time by Turner. Cron's going to try to get to that. She does. But it is over into touch, and we will have a corner kick. Second corner of the game for the Sabres. Second of the second half. And right here, the Sabres have a good opportunity to try to climb back in this game.
Shakopee.
They're down by 2 goals. Story of the game not complete yet as that ball comes swerving in. Nice move at the back post, but it goes into touch.
Wildcats.
Can the Sabres find some creativity? Can they find another goal to make this game have a scintillating ending? Can they find that magic? That ball goes off of a foot and goes into touch. That was Lee. Inning with it on the sideline. Looks for Leitenberg. Nice control there by Ava Leitenberg. Falls for Jensen. That ball's up and over the top. Seehafer has an opportunity. She's in on McGraw. One defender to beat. Seehafer sends it over. Might have been a good field goal, but that's the wrong sport.
Shot for Josie Seehafer, number 18.
That was a brilliant ball over to Seehafer. Had the right pace on it. Good defense that time on the outside by Shakopee, number 11, Mackenzie Norskog. Seehafer is an excellent player with a ton of speed. When I mean a ton of speed, I mean state track, all-state speed. So that was quite the effort. The Wildcats are blessed by a number of players on this field. And here's Seehafer again, who have been track all-state players or all-state runners. This turns for Leitenberg. Leitenberg can't quite get it onto her feet. Big step there by Wiesendoner. And good clearance that time by the Sabres, although it's pooched back in. And the Wildcats will regroup. Cron plays easy to Seehafer. Seehafer, around one defender. Seehafer lays that off for Jensen. Jensen to the corner. And it goes into touch. Cron sends it in. Nobody's just a little too close to McGraw that time. Coming up on 12 minutes and 30 seconds. Wildcats 3, Sabers 1. It was an early goal by the Sabers against the run of play to get a lead, and then 3 goals unanswered by the Wildcats. Waldrop's ball's going to find touch, as even the speedy Seehafer's not going to catch that one.
Substitution for the Sabers. Madison Norskog, number 16, back in, going off. 24, Caitlin Blackburn.
Madison Norskog will come back on. Blackburn will check out for the Sabers, who again are looking for something here as Waldrop dances around a couple of defenders. She's got some space. Will she shoot? Will she? She didn't shoot. I think that was a through ball attempting to find either Leitenberg or Weisendonner, but it had the disadvantage of looking like neither a good shot nor a good ball through. It's almost like Waldrop wasn't sure exactly what she wanted to do there. In any event, the Sabres will have to take a goal kick, and every ball out of bounds, every ball over the end line is another 10, 15 seconds of this match that the Sabres are not going to get back. It's an opportunity as Enning sends it in, finds Seehafer. Seehafer turns to the inside. With the pressure that the offensive pressure that the Wildcats are putting on, there's just not a lot of room right now for the Sabres to operate. And we're going to see Westerman, Bray, and Tanner check in. And Weisendonner, Leitenberg, and Jolstrom will exit.
Addie Tanner, number 7. Ellie Westerman, number 3. Going out in the Jolstrom, number 20.
Now we will not have any more. We will not have any additional boys and girls soccer this week, as the Wildcats play on Friday and Saturday away at South and Lakeville South and Waconia respectively. The Wildcat football team takes on Lakeville South on Thursday night in Lakeville, so that will also not be on ETV. Our next broadcast for football, Wildcat football, will be the game against Lakeville North. That is next Friday, not this coming Friday, but the next Friday night.
Back in Alan Schwichtenberg, number 13.
Schwichtenberg checks back in. She's the goal scorer for the Wildcats. The next broadcast game here on ETV for these Wildcat girls is at least scheduled to be Thursday, September 28th, when they host Burnsville here at Eagan High School. And I believe that is senior day, as Seehafer battles with it there. Tanner sends it over. A few balls popped up in the air, and now it falls for Waldrop, who finds Cron. Cron with a nice ball in, nobody making the run, but it almost gets to Tanner. Ball finds its way to Waldrop, and the Wildcats really are comfortable right now. Of course, as I say that, good tackle there by Turner. Had to get it right. She did. Had to sting a bit as Waldrop brings it forward, and that's going to be too hard for Tanner. So the Wildcats play away at South, at Waconia, at Apple Valley, and we'll be back here on September 28th for a 5 o'clock start against the Burnsville Blaze.
At the goalkeeper position out of the field is Caitlin Allred.
Caitlin Allred taking the place of Natalie Valaga here.
Also for the Wildcats, back in the game, Olivia Enning, number 21.
Olivia Enning and Leah Zirkelbach also checking in for the Wildcats. And Fetzich as well rejoining the fray. Mariah Tita takes it away from Enning. The ball finds its way up towards Lee. Challenge now here for the Wildcats is to continue to play solid defense. Zirkelbach pressuring the offensive player there for the Sabers, and that goes into touch. So Allred taking the place of Valaga, so she's going to get a little bit of time between the sticks, and Waldrop will take this goal kick. Ball finds its way to the 50-yard line. Nicely done. It's a 60-yard goal kick. Zirkelbach pops that up and over. Westerman has an opportunity here. She's a little bit diminutive, but she's crafty as she ends up getting the ball over to Enning. Enning. Seehafer was directing traffic, but I'm not sure anyone was picking up on her signals. Bray sends that out for Cron. Cron quickly to Westerman. Westerman turns on it. Westerman down, Westerman up. That ball gets fired across the face of the goal, and neither of the two Wildcats were able to tap it in. I'm not sure anybody thought Ellie Westerman was going to get that ball across the goal. But a nice opportunity, a nice cross from Westerman. It's not cashed in on by the Cats. Now, of course, the 2-goal lead, you'd say to yourself, they don't have to necessarily score, and that's true, but this is high school soccer. There's always a chance until that last second ticks off the clock. And Tanner with a great individual effort. She sends it forward for Seehafer. Seehafer slides that through. That was Westerman for Seehafer. Seehafer shoots it right into McGraw's chest. Seehafer still battling. And the ball finds its way out. I thought Seehafer for sure would earn a foul there, but there was a lot of contact. And McGraw is still down.
Clock is stopped. Injury on the field.
McGraw blocked a shot from Seehafer at almost point-blank range with what looked like her face or chest. She carried on, and that ball spilled out. It's possible she also had contact with or contacted the post as there was a flurry of activity. And the clock is, of course, stopped with just under 6 minutes to go, 5 minutes, 59 seconds. Coach or center referee Jay Moore has stopped the clock. Trainer has not been invited onto the field yet, which is a bit surprising, although hopefully for McGraw it's just a cramp. As you see, we can see from up here, one of her teammates is helping her stretch. Hopefully it is not a serious injury and just a cramp. McGraw will stay in the game. It is another corner to the Wildcats. Their third corner of the half, fourth of the game. Bray plays that short. Waldrop, it's deflected, and it'll go for another corner.
Corner kick again for the Wildcats. They just had their fourth. This will be their fifth of the game.
Fifth of the game. Bray over it again. It's played short by the Wildcats, lays it off. Bray sends it over again. Here's an opportunity, it's in! Liv Edding scores for the Wildcats. She walks it in as casually as she would be arriving at a party. She just walks it right in off of the cross from, and I missed who that cross came from. I think it was Bray. So in the 74th minute, we think it's going to be Olivia Enning from Macy Bray. A fourth goal for the Wildcats. And now they can really feel good as Tanner makes this run. That ball was over the top and finds its way to McGraw. The Wildcats certainly can feel comfortable now, certainly out of touch, out of reach for the Shakopee Sabers.
The assist to number 11, Macy Gray.
Despite a few opportunities early in the second half, Sabers have not had much in the way of creativity from an offensive standpoint. They just haven't been able to string it together. Again, not to say that they haven't had any chances. They've had a few, but certainly not a lot of quality chances, and the last few minutes have been all blue and white. Wildcats with their 4 defenders back now. Finds Bray. Off of Tanner. Shakopee will be looking to get at least a little bit of momentum here as Fetsich's clearance is blocked. Certainly from a Shakopee standpoint, they would like to get another goal, and at least, even if they're not going to win this soccer game, they'd love to get a little bit of momentum. Going ahead 1-0 early in the game and then conceding four straight goals is just not what the doctor ordered. Battle there for Westerman. On the far side, this gets sent over the top as Seehafer will give chase. And Fetsich will battle. Fetsich battles Seehafer. Seehafer gets a touch to it. Enning. Foul on the far side on the Sabers. So another opportunity for the Wildcats, and this will be Waldrop standing over it. She'll go ahead and put it into play. She's going to goal, and it just slides wide. Call that a shot, but to be honest, again, Waldrop had plenty of pace on that ball.
Clock is stopped.
Clock is stopped for a substitution for a Eagan substitution.
Isabella Fall, number 13.
Isabella Fall checks back in. And for those of you who are fans of South Suburban soccer, as this ball comes up over the top, will be played away by the Shakopee Sabers. The Rosemount Irish and Lakeville South Cougars matched up tonight in Rosemount. I believe that was in Rosemount, as Turner battles there against at least one Shakopee defender. I think that's Lee. And the Rosemount and the Lakeville South Cougars won that game 1-0. So that sets up a big opportunity here for the Wildcats on Friday as they take on the Lakeville Cougars. Some nice touch passing there. This ball comes up over the top. Tanner's not going to have the wheels to get that one, as that one had too much pace. Wildcats, again, want to be crisp here in the waning minutes of the game. Comes for Seehafer, and Tanner was in either Tanner or Seehafer was in an offside position.
Free kick for the Sabers.
It's not clear precisely which one. I think Seehafer was probably the one in the offside position. But with less than 2 minutes to go, the Wildcats have certainly stamped their 3 points as they pursue both the the South Suburban Conference Championship as well as a #1 seed in the section playoffs. Now the Wildcats, really all they have to do is hold on to the ball, and that being said, it's hard to tell players not to move forward and try to score as Cron puts one down. Finds Cassie Turner. Turner makes a run to the outside. Turner being put in an offensive forward position to try to score a goal.
One minute remaining in the second half. 1 minute remaining in this game. 1 minute.
Ball gets sent back in by the Wildcats. See if they can get a foot to it, and they can't, other than to throw it towards McGraw. McGraw will put this back into play. The Wildcats are going to win this match for what looks like to be 4-1. Goals by Seehafer, Leitenberg, Jensen, and Enning. Answering the Schwichtenberg goal from the 6th minute. That ball goes over the top. I can't imagine Westerman's going to win this one, although never count Ellie Westerman out.
10 seconds remaining.
She's not holding on to anything. Enning steps forward. She tries to send it towards net. And we're going to approach the end of this game as the Wildcats are going to walk away winners tonight in decisive fashion, scoring 4 unanswered goals to take a 4-1 victory over the Shakopee Sabers. Shakopee scoring first, but really just had no answer for the back line of the Wildcats. Wildcats, on the other hand, as I said, with 2 goals in the first half, or excuse me, with one goal in the first half, and then 3 goals in the second half to really take a commanding lead and seeing it out to the end. Wildcats get through the game what appears to be healthy. So big matchup here on Friday, not here, but again for the Wildcat girls on Friday night against the Lakeville South Cougars. Be a good opportunity for everybody to make the trip south to Lakeville South. That should be a heck of a soccer game. Shakopee will regroup against Farmington on Friday night. Thanks for joining us here on ETV for an award-winning ETV crew. My name is Nathan Cron, and this has been Girls South Suburban Conference action. Your final score, the Eagan Wildcats 4, the Shakopee Sabers 1. Good night, everybody.